next featured attraction has Gina Carano set to battle Caitlyn Young. As the ladies will enter the cage, and outside the cage, this St. Paul native is Minnesota nice, but inside the cage, she's downright nasty.
The thing that interests me the most in fighting is the high level of competition, and I want to say the truth of it all because it's an individual sport and you're not beating somebody's score. You're either getting beat by them or beating them. It's kind of harsh, but I like that. Before I was in MMA, I actually had work in construction, doing grinding, spot welding. I hit myself in the face with a bandsaw blade. I ended up having to get 14 stitches in my eyelid. MMA is definitely much safer than sheet metal fabrication in my opinion. The highest elation I think I've ever had is winning a fight. Winning by knockout is even more so because nobody can say it was a bad call. It didn't have anything to do with the ref. It was all you, and you finished the fight just like that.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome women's MMA's powerful Minnesota native, Caitlyn Young.
So Caitlyn Young prepares to enter the cage. And guys, this young lady has unbelievable skills when it comes to Muay Thai.
So far on CBS Saturday Night Fights, it's been a night of knockouts, and this young lady knows all about the KO. She put herself on the map by winning a single 8-woman tournament, one-night tournament, put on by Hook and Shoot in Evansville, Indiana. She massacred the competition, beating all 3 of her opponents via knockout in a combined time of 1 minute and 45 seconds. And legend, that's something that you even haven't been able to do.
I've only done one tournament in my life. It was the hardest night I've ever worked. It was grueling. Kaitlyn has lots of power, not only in her hands, but in her feet, both high and low. Look for her to kick the body and the head, and look for her to look for the knockout.
So Caitlyn Young has also been working on her wrestling if this fight goes to the ground. She'll take on the face of women's MMA, now ready to enter the cage, a female gladiator, Gina Carano, who has plans to crush yet another opponent with resounding conviction.
People are sitting there calling me beautiful and why does she fight? They're looking at my looks more than my fighting sometimes, and it just blows my mind.
Oh, and there's a right hand that drops Kelsey. What a moment.
People do what they're good at, and I happen to end up being somewhat good at fighting, and I think that's one of the best feelings that I could have while I fight. I don't put that pressure on myself like I have to fight. I'm doing it because I want to. Because I am a fighter in and out of the ring, and that's not something that you can fake. Whatever happens in there is just going to be pretty natural. I know that she's a good stand-up fighter, but it could go either way, honestly.
Gina Carano submits Tonya Evans.
Whatever I have to do, I'm going to do. That's pretty much it. I'm going to fill her out, and then I'm going to knock her out, hopefully.
Now making her way to the cage, please welcome the fighting sensation, hailed as the face of women's MMA, introducing Gina Carano.
So here comes Gina Carano. Heavy puncher, and even heavier striker, and her ground game is evolving.
And we saw evidence of her evolving ground game in her last fight last September, defeating Tonya Evans via rear naked choke submission in round 1, her very first submission win. But she's been battling the scale, Frank. She obviously has Hollywood aspirations. She is the female face of mixed martial arts. But I'm just wondering, can you be both in this day and age?
You know, it is awful tough to fill that role. I've been filling that role for a long time, and it is hard to do. She needs to shake off her fame and focus on fighting tonight. I think she also needs to avoid the clinch and tie-up. Caitlyn Young is very, very strong. The fight factor, the person who wins this fight, in my opinion, is the person who gets it to the ground and controls the action.
The agreed upon weight for this fight, 140 pounds. Carano coming in 4.5 pounds above the weight. She's been penalized and will have to share a percentage of her purse with Caitlyn Young. So we take a look at the tail of the tape. Gina Carano, Caitlyn Young, brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. Young with a 1-inch height advantage. Carano older, and there's the weight discrepancy. 144.5 pounds for Gina Carano. She's a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu student. And as for Caitlyn Young, she also studies in the disciplines of Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Now let's go inside the cage to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, EliteXC and CBS present a women's MMA special attraction scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing to you at this time our referee in charge of the bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Kevin Mulhall. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches, she weighed in at 140.5 pounds. Specializing in the disciplines of Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, her record stands at 4 wins, 1 defeat, with all 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, hailing from Circle Pines, Minnesota, please welcome Caitlyn Young. And her opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches. She weighed in at 144.5 pounds. With a background in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, she is undefeated in her campaign to the cage with a record of 5 wins, no losses, with 2 knockouts and 1 submission to her credit. Representing Extreme Couture, please welcome the sensational young star and pioneer of women's MMA from Las Vegas, Nevada, introducing Gina Conviction Carano. Once again, 3 3-minute rounds scheduled. Our referee in charge, Kevin Mulhall, now to give instructions.
Okay, fighters. Okay, you both know your rules. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. If I tell you to break, break clean. Do you have any questions? Yep. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves, come out fighting. Back up. Gina.
So here we go. 3 3-minute rounds for the ladies at the 145-pound weight. Carano coming in at 144.5.
Definitely Gina Carano, 4.5 pounds over. For Gina Carano and for Caitlyn Young, this is their toughest test of their young careers, and it's going to be interesting to see how much the weight issues have affected Gina Carano in this fight.
But weight equals power in punching and power in kicking. It may be a slight advantage for Gina, but the whole psychology of not being on weight, of not being professional, not being there, that's hard to deal with.
And there, Young going down. Carano on top. Young trying to put Carano in close guard.
Carano, a female at first, the first American woman to win a championship Muay Thai title in the Mecca of Muay Thai, Thailand. What baseball is to the United States, that's what the king of all martial arts is to Thailand. And early on, great action. I've had a chance to announce female fights all over North America. They always end up stealing.
Oh, big right hand by Carano. A looping, can-opening right hand. And a front kick by Carano, another right hand, and Young answers with a stiff right hand of her own. These ladies are ready to lump each other up.
Gina can exercise that power if she counter strikes quickly and gets back to protect herself. She's leaving herself a little bit open.
Nice cut kick by Young, who starts to close in now. The question is, how long can Carano go? Out of shape at 144.5, and Caitlyn Young takes her to the ground.
She's working a bit of rubber guard from the bottom there. Carano using her right leg to wrap around and try to get arm control.
So right now, Carano with Young in open guard, trying to close it all the way. Not able to right now.
Young coming off her first loss. It was via submission. She's really dedicated herself to not only learning submissions, but submission defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how she fares in this position. Again, Gina Carano also working her ground game, but this, they will both tell you, is the weakest part of their game.
It is. Now, Gina said she's ready for the ground. She wants to go to the ground. A submission would feel really, really good tonight, but she is not in a dominant position right now.
Carano trying to keep Caitlyn Young close.
Young doing a good job of using the cage, as you can see, and stacking up Carano.
Now Young.
Now Gina's got to make a decision. She's got to kick her away or pull her back in. Ground or stand up.
There's a roundhouse landing to the body for Carano. She backs up Young with the jab, but those kicks from Caitlyn Young so dangerous.
A cavalcade of kicks here in round number 1.
Gina's beating her to the jab every time, but she's pulling her hands back a little bit low and getting counterpunched.
8 seconds remaining in the round. Carano breathing heavy. She's tried to keep her distance with the front kicks. There's another looping right hand.
And so far, they're well on their way to stealing the show, just like I told you.
Conviction.
Taking the fight to the ground was where I thought Gina had some real experience in this game. Kaitlyn's coming in power kicking. Gina sweeps the leg right out, ends up in guard position, but ends up in top. That's where I know she wanted to be, to do a little ground and pound and do a little bit of damage. When they started exchanging rights, they were both landing. Gina needed to cover herself a little bit more. She's a good power puncher. And she's a good power puncher.
And there are no Cinderella slipper jaws on these two ladies, that's for sure.
No way, but here's the ground action. Gina's using her leg right now underneath her chin. She's using it as a bar right now to be underneath there and choke, apply pressure to the chin, pulling Kaitlyn's head down. She's choking her here. She just doesn't have her wrapped up.
Round 2 scheduled for 3.
Wouldn't it be nice if they could maintain the pace of round number 1?
Gina Carano in the black trunks and Caitlyn Young in the black and white trunks. Both of these ladies proficient in Muay Thai. 8-point strikers, feet, elbows, knees, and hands. There's a knee by Young, trying to drive Carano backwards, and does to the gate. Carano turns her back.
Already
1, 2, 3. By Carano, and Young responds with a stiff right hand of her own. Ooh, cut kick, dangerous. Another cut kick behind the knee.
Kaitlyn's starting to get her rhythm. Look at her bounce. She's bouncing herself into a punch kick rhythm that's traditional Muay Thai.
Definitely finding her groove, but eats that straight hand.
Still 2x4 jab by Gina Carano. Carano winded.
Carano has a beautiful jab, and she's not only jabbing, but she's covering her face at the same time. It's a great protective maneuver, but it doesn't allow you to open up for combinations.
Remember, Carano only had a 3-week training camp, and so far, so good. She's proving to have the heart of a champion, but Caitlyn Young really in the thick of things here.
Caitlyn Young got hit with a clean shot. She's blinking her eyes and in trouble. Young is in trouble. Here comes Carano. She got hit right in the nose, folks, and that'll make you tear up and blink from here to eternity. Now she holds on. 1:30 left in the round. Scheduled for 3. 140 pounds. 2 Muay Thai specialists.
Carano beginning to breathe laboriously, Frank.
She is. She's getting gassed. She's getting a little bit sloppy.
Oh, she's hurt forward. She's hurt now. Here's Carano looking for the finish.
Gina's got to go from the head to the body, back up through the center, and go for the knockout right here.
Carano with that front kick. Hitting Young right in the grip basket. Young yielding. Carano, does she have enough? Young in trouble. Here's Carano. She's punches and bunches. Young trying to hold on. Conviction drops her with the
She's got it in. She won't tap. Caitlyn Young. Oh, she makes it out of the round.
The ladies.
Hey, mixed martial arts. CBS Primetime.
Wow. That's it. Wow.
Hey, Kaitlyn. Suck it up. Suck it up.
There
Take some water. Take some water.
will be blood.
Okay. Okay, now, Kaitlyn. You
Right
gotta
now,
keep that
Caitlyn
left
Young's
hand
face
up,
looks
okay?
like it's been put together like a ransom note.
Caitlyn Young in trouble. And this is over. This one has been stopped at the end of the second round. Gina Carano figured it out. And she stops Caitlyn Young at the end of the second round.
Gina Carano remains undefeated, improving to 6-0 and picking up her third victory via stoppage.
She gutted it out tonight and got her desired result. She wanted to get to the ground. She told me, she said, I don't want to stand up. It's dangerous. I want to get to the ground and do some work.
She's on the cover of the June issue of Muscle and Fitness, and obviously her star continues to rise. Her father, former National Football League quarterback Glenn Carano, always with a very nervous look on his face, but now a time for an in-cage celebration.
Where you come up with all this shit?
Where do you come up with all this?
It's true. She's evolving in front of our own eyes.
Her stock continues to rise. There are many great female fighters out there. Tara La Rosa, Shayna Baszler. What is next for Gina Carano?
That was a gutsy performance. I really enjoyed that. Not only controlling the fight, but dictating exactly what she wanted.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. standing by with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 2. Our ringside physician advises our referee, Kevin Mulhall, to stop the contest. The fighter is unable to continue. She is the winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Gina Conviction Carano.
Another dramatic fight here in Newark. Conviction, was this your toughest fight to date?
I don't know. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, it was tough. I got to give it up to Kaitlin. She's one of my toughest opponents, and she's a cool-ass chick, so, yeah, I respect her a lot. It was a tough fight.
Early on, you used your front kick, you created distance, and as that fight progressed, you managed to get Caitlyn Young to the ground, and then things started to really turn your way.
Yeah, well, I tried to wear out with the go-go plot, I think it's called, and that was fun. So, yeah, started going my way after that. I think she, was tired of getting hit a little bit, so it was cool.
Fitness was a question. You came in 4.5 pounds heavy. Can you give us an explanation as to why you didn't make weight?
I just came off of, filming for American Gladiators, and I didn't really get to put my heart into the training that I usually like, so that kind of sucked. But she's cool, like she took the fight and we moved on. Hello to the American Gladiators people, by the way.
Is your heart still in mixed martial arts?
It totally is, and I was really unsure walking into this fight, and I gotta thank God for that, because he carried me through the training and the transition, and he made me get through this fight, so thank you,
So as the fight progressed, Gina, not only were you able to get her to the ground, but then your hand speed and your punching power really started to pay huge dividends for you.
Yeah, I felt a little sloppy. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little sloppy, so I gotta get back in the gym and get my butt in gear. I do.
Congratulations, Conviction, undefeated.
Thank you. Can I point out my corner people right here are some of the most amazing people that I'm around. And my family that are in the crowd. You see my dad in here every time, but my mom's out there too. And thank you to all the fans, because I'm here for you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys' positive influence, okay? So I love you, thank you very much.